It's your returning champion, Elgintensity, aka HP Swolecraft and the Traponomicon. I recorded this video on Halloween, and I purposely took 3 weeks off from uploading, just to scare the shit out of you. I hope it worked. And if it didn't, then I'm going to distract and deny by changing the subject to the first question, which comes from Jesus Davfit, who asks, do you think Jason Genova can get down to a single-digit body fat? Well, Jesus, it depends on the digit. If we're talking about the body fat of one of these digits, then maybe he can achieve that level of body fat. As long as the number of contestants is in the single digits, namely the number 1, then the participation trophy is as good as his. Lagrelius J asks, best Grand Complications watch? That would be Putin's Patek Philippe 5208P, mainly due to its provenance. It includes a minute repeater, a monopusher chronograph, and a perpetual calendar. It also costs over 980,000 buck, and there's an application process just to be able to buy it. Unfortunately, Rodrigo Duterte's Apple Watch doesn't count as a Grand Complication watch, otherwise I would pick that. Vulcan Raven asks, who should Dingleberry dress up as for Halloween this year? First of all, every day is Halloween for Dingleberry, because he pretends to be a world record lifter who can outrun cars. I looked at his Instagram and apparently he's in Hawaii climbing trees, or a film set climbing artificial trees. You never know with Dingleberry. Regardless, I think he should go as Frank Dukes from Bloodsport. For maximum authenticity, he can throw on a gi, then a Japanese guy can tie him to those trees and pull them apart until he stops making shitty videos. Zarek Caesarheck Bilda asks, you drink tea? If yes, what kind and how? I want tea now, heck my life, and there's a picture of a puggo sitting down for tea. I like to drink ginger tea before presentations and before recording these videos because it's soothing. Otherwise, I drink Gyokuro Imperial Green Tea or Silver Needle. So those are the kinds of tea I like. As far as how I drink it, I like to brew it in hot water, pour it into a teacup, and then bring the teacup up to my mouth so I can fucking sip the tea. You could also try pouring the tea directly into your mouth while it's still hot, but make sure the pug's not nearby. How do you drink tea? Get Busy Grinding asks, I'm in an Asian country and only one dude and me do squats. Show I dick slap all of them. You're definitely not in Asia to teach English as a second language, that's for sure. Or should I be more cruel and recommend them the all-time famous Vince I'm Too Fat for YouTube G as personal trainer so I can also slap him? Vince G doesn't know where Asia is, dude. If he buys tickets to Asia, he'll end up at one of their concerts. Besides, if the dipshits around you don't squat, that means you weight less for racks. You just have to kick out the fuckos curling in them. Bringing in Vince G will just breed quarter squatters. And if there's one thing Vince G should never do, it's breed. So keep the gains to yourself. Calo Yempeno asks, do TED traps of the East, how do you stay motivated? I don't know what this is in regards to, but in general, I just like beating people. Whether in my capacity as an attorney or as an internet troll, I legitimately enjoy ruining someone's day. Just the other week, I made an anonymous shit talker delete all his comments. I do shit like that for sport. There has to be that initial spark. Am I going to make someone cry today? Yes, done. I found my motivation. I'm also motivated by new challenges, which is why it's difficult for me to find motivation to make YouTube fitness videos. Curb stomping the same fuckos over and over is not my idea of a new challenge. For you, the day I roasted your least favorite YouTuber was the most important day of your life, but for me it was Tuesday. Jacob Wagner 34 asks, what pre-workout powders have worked best for you? Also, what powders are low quality / garbage? The best pre-workouts I ever tried were Craze and Mr. Hyde, which were taken off the market and reformulated to be weak as shit now. Hyphy Mud was garbage. You can watch my review here on YouTube. Anything with a proprietary blend is probably garbage. These days, I don't even bother with extreme pre-workouts because the companies that make them inevitably have to take their priced main ingredient out. Also, I train at night, and as I've mentioned before, pre-workouts often fuck with my sleep patterns. So I suggest you go to my kit page and combine the ingredients yourself to make your own pre-workout, or just drink coffee because that's not going to be outlawed anytime soon. King Leech 68W. I found either Blahino's sock account or Vince G's. Poke Bowl or Chipotle Bowl. I've never tried a Poke Bowl, so Chipotle Bowl by default, even though Poke looks insanely good. If you're referring to a bowl from Chipotle Mexican Grill and not a homemade bowl of Chipotle, then I'll take something I've never tried over that bland overpriced crap. Savage Department, Randy speaking. asks, Ben Shapiro asks you to join him for a workout of your choice. Must involve actual barbells and dumbbells and actual lifting of said weights. My inquiry is, what will you and the Thug Life Jew train? We're definitely benching. Bench with the mensch. Ben says he does CrossFit, which I find hard to believe because he hates snowflakes, and we all know how CrossFitters respond to criticism. Even if he does CrossFit, I don't think he'll oppose training like a real lifter for one day. If he does, then that'll be the one debate he loses, because as we all know, being pro-CrossFit is the incorrect position to take. Nobody's been able to argue otherwise in the years I've been shitting on CrossFit, and filing bogus copyright claims to censor me isn't an argument. It's a form of surrender. Ben and I are unfortunately very busy, so that dream collab won't happen anytime soon. In the meantime, if he wants online coaching or infinite Elgintensity merch, it's on the house. Non-negotiable. Dylan Smith 823 asks, how did the beef with Vince G start? Since 2015, I've been roasting Vince for his shitty lifting form and his inability to cut after repeatedly setting out to do so. Near the end of 2015, Vince whined about how unhappy he was with his role in Physiques of Greatness. He must have been so miserable collecting fat checks in exchange for no work. Chris Jones changed the password on the Physiques of Greatness channel, which cut Vince off from his golden goose once and for all. Afterwards, Vince decided to put his job search on the back burner, more likely in the fireplace, and make a video about me for talking trash about him. Chris Jones might have fired him, but I retired him because my response video was at Waterhead's Waterloo, and he hasn't recovered since. James Briggs asks, every fitness personality seems to have their own rebrand of generic supplements. How do you feel about this cash grab and people putting their names over products they have no idea what it really could be? I liken it to the production and promotion of fashion watches. If you've ever seen a Burberry, Michael Kors, or any other shitter from Tuning's watch collection, you might be surprised to know that those companies didn't actually make their own watches. They just slapped their names on the dials and threw cheap quartz movements in the cases. Those shitters sell because of the brand recognition. What fitness personalities do is similar, albeit with much weaker brands. Take a generic supplement, slap your name on it, and milk the audience. To finally get to your question, I think it's fucked up that they can't find better ways to make money, but it's also the buyer's fault for not researching what they buy. When it comes to watches and supplements, if you can't afford the good stuff, it's better to just not buy anything. 3VTP asks, if you had to choose between Cali Muscle, and Vince G to perform in the washed-up looser Olympics, who would you choose and what event would you want to see them in? Cali Muscle doing a deadlift ladder, 100%. He never deadlifts, and he'll probably get snapped up because he'll instinctively try to curl the bars and tear his biceps. Even if he doesn't snap, he'll be absolutely shit at the deadlift, so it'll be fun to watch him get no-repped all day and outlifted by a bunch of Icelandic chicks. Eric asks, how easy/hard was the bar exam? It was draining more than anything because the exam was so long and took place over 2 days for my state. If you take a 2-month prep course like I did though, you should be able to regurgitate information no problem, unless you crack under pressure or suck at time management. The hardest part was not playing too much Street Fighter 4 because it came out for the PC that summer, 2009. Apparently I played just enough Street Fighter because I passed on the first try. The guy sitting at my table, however, did not pass. I hope he didn't become a YouTuber. Richard Dickerson asks, Traplord, do you have a favorite gym meme? Yes, the one you don't tag me in, because I've probably seen it a billion times. In all seriousness, any gym meme that's offensive to someone I don't like is right up my alley. That includes the ones my viewers submitted during some of my YouTube feuds. Will Statcoach asks, your top 5 NES games? That would be Ninja Gaiden, Super Mario Bros. 3, Contra, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and The Legend of Zelda. Honorable mentions, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 the arcade game, Dragon Warrior, and Bubble Bobble. Alright, fuckers, it's time for the lawyering round. Time to adjust my plus 837 glasses of quintessential fair use lawyering. ARiv27 asks, how would you rather do being strapped down and watch Brad Dingleberry do his double autistic, or being forced into living with 3 radical feminists for the rest of your life? How would I rather do those things? I'd rather do those things to 0% completion. Literally Shaking asks, rather get caught not squatting to depth or giving a old man a Hummer? I'd rather get caught giving an old man a hummingbird. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, now.
Everybody drugs their body sometime. Everybody tries the gear somehow.